On March 3, 1991, an unarmed man was beaten by 4 police officers before being taken into custody. His injuries included a broken right leg, a face badly cut and bruised, and a chest burnt by a 50,000-volt stun gun. A civilian recorded the incident from a balcony nearby and sent the footage to a local news station. Public outrage ensued as a nation demanded justice. On April 29, 1992, a jury watched the video, listened to the testimonies, and subsequently acquitted all 4 of the police officers of assault. The video itself was key in this decision, as it was used to show the intention of the man to do harm and the self-defense of the police in response. How could a jury, faced with a video of clear violence against a defenseless individual, deem the individual the perpetrator of violence rather than the receiver? That individual is Rodney King, and he is Black. What the 4 police officers and the jury saw emanating from his Black body while it lay still on the street is the same thing that has been seen many other times since. It is part of a larger and more insidious phenomenon, the othering of the Black body. As humans, we are faced with an overwhelming amount of information in every instance. To make a chaotic world easier to understand, we categorize and sort inputs into pre-existing schemas, or pre-existing categories. While it is natural to create these classifications and associations, the meanings we assign to them are shaped and distorted by our social environment. As such, we make conclusions about people and things instinctually, and we are especially vulnerable to this when met with someone from a group that we are unfamiliar with. We rely on our schematic representations of the group from which they are from, rather than the immediate information in front of us. So, while we would like to believe we are free-thinking individuals, our thoughts and actions are largely driven by these predetermined schemas. In the United States, we are taught from a very young age to assign meaning to race. The media we consume, the ways our communities are organized and segregated, the people we look to for leadership, all of this reinforces our mental schemas of race. So, when we see someone that is white or Black, our minds immediately provide us with a wealth of information about them before a single interaction. Judith Butler, in her essay, Endangered, Endangering, Schematic Racism and White Paranoia, applies this framework to what happened to Rodney King. She explains how there is a bodily schema of the Black man in a white man's world. This bodily schema is one that conceptualizes the Black body as perpetually ready to cause harm. This explains why, when a jury was faced with a video of a Black man being brutally beaten by a police officer, the jury perceives the Black body as the perpetrator of harm, rather than the receiver. The blows against King are seen as a defense against the dangers that incessantly emanate from his Black body. According to this racist apostine, he is hit in exchange for the blows he never delivered, but which he is, by virtue of his Blackness, always about to deliver. This beating, this jury, this video. It all occurred almost 30 years ago. And yet, we see the same events unfold time and time again. As a society, we must work to deconstruct the othering of the Black body through positive media representation, intentional efforts to bridge racial divides, and more self-awareness of our own unconscious schemas.